Why moderation doesn't work, even when you think you're fine. Moderation is like the holy grail of every problem drinker, right? It never occurred to me that not drinking alcohol was an option. I believed that I had to find a way to manage it. And if I could find a way to manage my drinking, then everything would be fine. And by manage it, what we mean is to be able to drink as much alcohol as we want without the consequences. That's what we're talking about here. We want to drink as much alcohol as we like to drink, but we don't want to be hungover. We don't want to make a fool of ourselves. We don't want to miss work. We just don't want any of the consequences. And I'm just going to tell you that that's not possible, despite all of the ridiculous adverts for vitamins and things you can take. So in today's video, I'm going to talk about why just having one drink or trying to moderate is actually a trap, and abstinence is the pathway to freedom. So number one, this is the bit that I don't think people fully realize, is alcohol dramatically impacts your brain and how your brain functions and your brain chemistry. So you can start out the day thinking, right, I'm going to moderate. I'm just going to have 2 drinks, no more. That's fine. That's made my decision. I'm strong. I'm going to stick to it. I mean it this time. All of that's irrelevant because you're up against brain chemistry, and your brain chemistry and the impact alcohol has on your brain is going to be more powerful. So let's talk about this for a minute. Alcohol is a central nervous system depressant. And one of the first things that it affects when you ingest alcohol is your prefrontal cortex, which is the part of your brain that's responsible for decision making, impulse control, and evaluating consequences. You can see the problem, right? So it doesn't matter what decisions or anything you have, you've just interfered chemically with your brain's ability to follow through and make decisions and all that kind of stuff, which is why it's so easy after having one drink to say, one more won't hurt. I feel fine. Tomorrow I'll be good. I mean, how many times have you lied to yourself? I can't tell you how many times I've lied to myself. I was a binge drinker. So I drank kind of Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and I needed Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday to recover. So, I literally was very subpar Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Thursday morning is when I felt the best. So I would often go out drinking Thursday night with the promise to myself that I would, just have a couple because I have to work on Friday. Never being able to do that, feeling like absolute pants on Friday and crawling through work or college or whatever it was I was doing, like crawling through, and only like if I did go to work, and then needing to have a drink Friday lunchtime to just kind of stave off those effects, right? So it was just like this constant lying to myself and believing this time is going to be different. And I think that's one of the fallacies, isn't it? Is that we keep thinking this time it will be different. How many times do you think that you have drunk and you've thought, I just think this time is going to be different? And it just isn't. So you're not weak. This is why it has nothing to do with willpower or being strong. Alcohol just shuts down the part of your brain that helps you stop drinking. So that's the science. You can't go against that. Your brain is chemically impaired from making good decisions once you start drinking. That's the bit that you really have to understand. You need full cognitive control to moderate, but alcohol diminishes your brain's ability to do that. It doesn't improve it, it diminishes it. We know from the research that people generally spend 10 years from the first day that they begin to question their relationship with alcohol, maybe begin to worry about it, maybe begin to try and think, oh, I should maybe drink less, cut down, that kind of stuff. People spend 10 years, which is a whole decade of your life, trying to moderate and manage their drinking before finally quitting. Because moderation is just impossible. And I know there's going to be a bunch of people in the comments who are going to say, oh, I managed to do it, or I tried this drug and it was fine. I just want to say something about that. It's not freedom to take a drug, because all drugs have to be processed by your liver, okay? So it's not freedom to take a drug that taxes your liver in order to ingest another drug that taxes your liver. That's not freedom. So when we are on the kind of moderation bandwagon, it's selling us an illusion. It's selling us the illusion that we are still in control, right, of our relationship with alcohol. You know, because most of us, I'm going to tell you, I drank alcoholically from pretty much out of the gate. Like it wasn't like a gradual thing. I was not able to control how much I drank from when I was 15 years old. But for a lot of us in the early stages of our drinking, which is when we first start drinking, our relationship is usually positive with alcohol. It's often fun, and we're often, able to moderate, give or take it, right? But what we're trying to do is that things have changed. We're often years or decades away from that. And what we're trying to do is drink like it was at the very beginning. But I'm going to, that ship has sailed. Sorry. I'm 52 years old. I can't run and dance like I could when I was 20. So moderation is just, we're deluding ourselves that we're still in control, but that's not true. Alcohol is. And the reason that alcohol is still in control, and this is the bit I want you to hear, is if you're watching this video, and by the way, if you want help changing your relationship with alcohol, please check the description below. I have lots of links to things that will help you. The reason that we want to do this is because we just have this ingrained belief that alcohol is the best way to have fun, excitement, belonging, connection, to relax, to reward ourselves. And we don't want to give that up, right? We believe that if we don't have alcohol in our life, we're going to have to give up all of those things. But none of that's true. And what I want to say is, okay, so this is the bit I really want you to understand, is look how much space alcohol is renting in your thinking, right? Moderation, trying to moderate your drinking, requires a lot of energy and a lot of thinking and planning and deciding, right? Alcohol's in control of you. If you are thinking about not drinking, thinking about drinking less, thinking I'll just have two, thinking I'm just going to moderate, thinking I'm just going to try really hard this time, alcohol's the boss of you, right? Even when you're not drinking, you're thinking about the drinking and thinking about not drinking. So it's this belief in moderation, it's just a delusion. And I really don't think people, understand just how exhausting that is. And this is the question I want you to ask yourself, right? Is this how you want to spend your time? Is this what you want to do with your life, right? Do you want to spend your time and your life arguing with yourself about whether you're going to have a drink or how often you're going to drink or how much you're going to drink? Because if that is what we're doing, we have lost our way. We've just lost our way. That's not what you're here to do. You are not here to argue with yourself about alcohol and drinking and how much. We've just lost our way. And the reason that we become so focused on it, again, is because of this delusion that without alcohol, we will lack, we will miss out. And again, that's a delusion. None of that's true. Moderation, it costs us our peace of mind. That's the price of it, is our peace of mind. And I want to tell you, that's precious. Moderation feels uncomfortable. And the only relief we get is when we have that first drink. And it's like a temporary relief, right? Because then we want another and another, and there's consequences. We're always calculating. We're always recovering. We're always second guessing. We're always planning. And I just don't think that that's how you should be spending your life. I just think you're here for a better reason than that. That's what I believe. Abstinence from alcohol, once you have realized that you are a person who cannot drink safely, abstinence is about freedom. It's about expansion. It's about more. It's about getting. Complete sobriety is not restrictive. It's freedom. Because when you're sober, you're not having to make decisions. There's no shame spiral. There's no recovery day. There's no mental gymnastics. You're not arguing with yourself. Imagine what you could do with your time and energy if you didn't have to do that anymore. Sobriety gives you peace. It gives you clarity. It gives you self-respect. You finally get to live your life instead of trying to manage your drinking. The freedom from alcohol doesn't come from drinking less. It comes from changing how you see yourself and how you see the world. Because all sobriety is a shift in perception. If you are ready to stop arguing with yourself and white knuckling, make sure you check the links below and make sure you hit subscribe.